I wanted to like do traveling and whatnot. So I figured, you know what? I have a buddy of mine, Mike, who is a videographer for a lot of UFC fighters. He lives in Vegas, and I was like, you know what? Let me make a weekend out of it. I was able to get credentialed. I meet up with a couple people from Blue Wire, the network that the show is a part of, and I go over there. And this is literally the weekend before. So my birthday this past year, Val, was when shit really hit the fan with COVID. March 11th. That was
It's right before everything shut down.
yeah, that I remember coming back. No one was wearing a mask on the plane. Everyone was kind of it was packed, like the plane was packed. Um, and I go to Vegas and I meet a bunch of people and I shot a video. I met up with my buddy Andreas Hall, who does a podcast, and he's a Blue Wire. And it was weird because one of the reasons why I joined this network was because the networking, right? And I was always a fan of his, so it was like dope to meet someone that you're a fan of, and now like I have his number and we're friends and we text and whatnot. So it was really cool. So I go to the UFC event, and to bring it back full circle to the time, dude, they're 3 hours behind, right, in Vegas. It's 9:45. The event ends. My buddy Mike's like, yo, we're going to the bar. And I'm like, bar? Dude, I've been drinking for like 8 hours, and it's only not, it's 10 o'clock out
Yeah.
there. And then, Val, the weirdest thing ever, I just like, I think because I put in my head that it was 10:30. I'm like, yo, I'm way too drunk. Like, I'm out. He's like, bro, yeah, out. It's your last day. I was like, I know.
In
He's like,
Vegas.
yeah. He's like, dude, what is going on? And my buddy Alex was with me. Alex, shout to Alex. He's the one that like does all the graphics and he does some editing too. And he's from Chicago. I bought a ticket for him, and I was like, dude, come out. You know, like you volunteer and help out with the show, and some of the guys that help out with the show too. I was like, yo, I don't pay you guys. So like, let's have like a fun ass experience. So I
Yeah.
got him a UFC ticket, and we went to the event and we were hanging out. And he was like, yo, you're really going to sleep? I was like, bro, this is so embarrassing. Because I love going to Vegas too. It's such a great, like, it's a fun ass town. It's always an extravaganza all hours
I've
of the
actually
day.
never been to Vegas.
You never been to Vegas?
Never.
Dude,
I know.
you have to
I
go.
know. It's on my list.
It's a good ass time. There's something to do at all hours of the day.
I believe
It's-
I've seen pictures and videos. I've had friends who've gone. It's just like the timing has never worked out for me.
Yeah. Well, you need to, my best advice that I could give you for Vegas, do you like to gamble at all?
I do.
Okay.
Conservatively.
What
I'm
do
not
you-
going to like blow my money. I like roulette.
That's the worst thing you could play.
I know, but it's fun because you don't know what's
that's
going to
fair.
happen.
Yeah.
I've actually hit pretty like decent on roulette too. Like the most I've won is like a little over $1,000.
Look at you go.
Yeah. So it was the only one time. I've lost everything else, but
The way I treat roulette is when my friends and I go to Vegas or Atlantic City, I like to go and we all put like $50 on a color before we go out, and then from there it's just that's
yeah.
it for me.
No, I need to like feel a table out, play a little. Like I need to see who's playing with me. Like,
Are you
feel
at the
out their
table so
vibe.
long that you start knowing people's names?
If I'm like hot, then I'll stay. But then it lasts only like a little bit. You know what I mean?
I can't believe you like playing
So,
roulette.
I also play blackjack too. But like roulette, I don't know. It's more fun. I'm like more invested in it.
So I play roulette is fun. I'll give you that. It's absolutely fun. Blackjack, there is some method to the madness where you
Yeah.
can I don't want to say you control a lot of the outcomes, but you have more control there than with the ball just spinning around.
I feel like I need to concentrate more when I'm playing blackjack. And like if I'm drinking and like we go to the like if we gamble late, roulette's just like easy. Like I know my numbers. I play them the same time. Like I'll always play the same numbers. Sometimes I'll be like a little adventurous and like play a number that I'm just feeling. Or I'll just like put it all on black or all on red. But like you don't really need to like think that much.
Right.
So like if you're drinking and stuff, not that I'm like wasted when I'm playing or a huge drinker, but it's just like it's fun. Whereas like blackjack, I'm like I really need to like do math and like think, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I just want to just
No, for sure.
if I'm playing with this amount of money, like I have it in my head. If I lose it, I'm not playing anymore. Like that's my cutoff.
Yes.
Like I'm not the type of person where it's like if I lost everything, I'm taking out more money and playing. Like
Yes,
I give
keep
myself like, okay, this is your gambling money. Let's say it's $200 or $300, whatever it is.
I'm clapping because I'm loving what you're saying.
No, but like I stick to that, and if I lose it all, I cut my losses. If I start winning and it's good, if I win a lot, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna like mess it up because I know I'm gonna lose it if I continue to
You're
play.
way more disciplined
So
than I am.
I'm like, I am very. I'm like, because then I know like the next day, I've seen people. I have friends like who've won big and lost it all because they got greedy and they got excited. And it's like, it ruins the night too.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's like such a
What?
buzzkill.
Yes.
Like you win a couple $1,000s and then you like blow it all within an hour, sometimes even less. And it's like, you're such an idiot.
Yeah.
And you just like screwed the whole night. Or like people who've lost all their, like my friends who've lost all their money for the whole, like our whole vacation. And it's like, why? You need to like budget yourself.
I had a buddy of mine who lost about $3,000 14 minutes into coming to Vegas before he checked into his room. I'm like, bro, we're going to be here till Monday. I like taking the red eye back. So it's the 11 o'clock p.m. Vegas time. You land in JFK or LaGuardia at around 6:30. But the reason why is you save like $300 taking that flight as opposed to leaving at 12 in the afternoon.
Do you sleep at all on it?
I sleep on any flight.
Really?
Any flight.
Wow,
My friends are outraged. I was actually talking about this with Dylan on an episode where we went to Toronto for OVO Fest, and I was my friend Joe and I, we took the flight, and to Toronto it says it's an hour and a half. Dude, it's like 47 minutes. Okay. By the time it finishes the ascension, it's cruising, and then it's like fasten your seat. But they don't even give you snacks, nothing. They're like, yeah, you're gonna land. And I slept, and I just remember him sitting next to me, and he's looking at me, he's like shaking. I'm like, what happened? Was I snoring? He's like, bro, how do you sleep?
Yeah.
He's like, how do you sleep knowing that in 45 minutes you'd be up? I was like, bro, I never sleep. So if I have a little bit of time I'm going to do it. But you said something that I think is very, very important. You need to be disciplined when you go to places like that because
it's really hard to lose. It's really hard to like lose it all.
Oh, yeah. And
not
quickly,
hard. It's easy to lose it all. It's hard to
win.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think the idea of actually going with a set, because that's what I do. When I go to Vegas or Atlantic City, I have two different budgets. I have my food, drink, and partying, and I have my gambling.
Yeah.
I like to gamble. I'm not going to beat around. I mean, everyone that listens to this know that gambling is my thing. I personally play Texas Hold'em. I love poker. Pretty good at it, too. That's a very pure game. What I mean by that is if you and I sit at a poker table with John and Mike, the house and the casino doesn't lose money there. Every other game, the casino could lose money from it. Where there, it's, all right, Val's trying to take John's money. Mike wants Val's money. I want everyone's money. So there's that dynamic. So it's the purest form of gambling at casinos is Texas Hold'em. The thing that's whack about it and why I don't do it as much, when I go play, I'll go at like 4 a.m. because it's a game where if your group of friends, my group of friends, we go to Atlantic City and we're all having a good time and we go there for someone's birthday, right? It's a whack thing for me to go and be like, oh, I'm going to go play poker and I'm going to disappear for 5 hours. Yeah. It's not a game where two of my friends can come and stand over my shoulder like in blackjack or roulette or another cool game to play with people that you go with is craps. Craps is dope. Because craps is a game where everyone's involved and they want you to do well.
One game I need to like figure out how it works.
Best advice I could give you, 6 and 8s.
Okay. I've watched it and I have no idea what's going on.
So what the people that have played craps, they know what this means. It's like if you roll 6 and 8 on the 2 dice is the most popular combination. Not popular, but it's the one with the most potential outcomes. So you just play 6 and 8 and then if you roll a 6 or an 8 and I have played 6 and 8, then I win money there.
Okay.
And it's one where you just basically play the numbers. But 6 and 8 is the one where you just do that and you just sit back and observe. But it's a game where everyone's involved. Like if Val's...
It's a party at the table.
Yeah, we do. My friends and I, when we go to Vegas, we always block out a craps table for 2 hours. We go to a pit ball. It's like early in the day, we'll be like, hey, man, look, there's about 15, 20 of us. Because we roll deep when we go to Vegas. And we'll say, look, this would be 15 to 20 of us. We're all going to play craps. Is there a way where you can RSVP a table just for us? So it could be just us, you know, like we want to just vibe and whatnot. And they're like, yeah, sure. You just have to guarantee like X amount of money for the
Minimum.
buy-in, and it's like, if there's 15 of us, $100 just minimum, say, and before you know it, it's a fiesta. So those games, blackjack as well, they're funner. Roulette also.
Yeah.
I know about blackjack, but I'm not a blackjack player at all. I almost had a guy fight me at a blackjack table because I split fours.
Okay.
Are you familiar with
Yeah.
what that means? I didn't know what I was doing. I legit didn't know what I was doing.
That's the one thing with blackjack too. You get someone who doesn't know how to play, and it
And
fucks up the whole table.
Yes. So I didn't know all this. So the guy had to have had a rough time. He was polo shirt, not buttoned, looked like he was there for hours, and I just go and sit down. And I'm with my buddy Espo. I was like, yo, you're going to hop in? I had like maybe $20 left from the pool party. I'm also hammered as well. But again, I just did it because my room was like right there. So I'm like, all right, let me just do this.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the guy had, but I just remember splitting the fours because I always just saw like, oh, if you have the same card, like you split it. But that's only if you have like a 10 or a king or whatnot. And the guy just face palms and he goes, oh my God, this idiot. He like whispered it. I was like, yo, is that the wrong play? And he lost his mind. He's like, this kid doesn't even know what he's doing. Get him out of here. He's yelling. And then he ended up losing his hand. I lost my hand too. And then he I wouldn't say he followed me, but as we were both leaving.
He was probably down who knows how much.
Yeah.
And he was like banking on this one play.
Yeah. And he just like under his breath said something. And it was just hysterical, man. You see some characters at those places.
But that's when like gambling loses its fun.
It does. But
not with you, but like let's say this. Who knows what this guy like was gambling, like how much he lost. It's like, but again, like you don't know. He could be a billionaire, and it could be nothing, and he just likes the chase of it. Or the high of gambling.
No, for sure.
You never know who you're going to be playing with.
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend who one time his girlfriend was telling him, babe, let's leave. Like, you're winning. You're doing so well. He was up a couple $1,000s. He's like, nah, I'm hot right now.
Oh, that's like me.
He ends up losing the money he won. Then he lost all the money he sat down with. And it's like a running joke where every time I see them, he puts his hand on her shoulder and he goes, babe, take me home.
Yeah, no, I'll never, ever, ever do this again with anyone gambling. We were on vacation, my ex and I, and whatever, we're playing roulette. And he was down, and I was like, don't lose all your money. Like, come on, like, it's not a big deal. Like, we're leaving tomorrow. Let's not, like, don't go crazy. Don't get, like, overexcited and end up, like, ruining the night because you're already down. I don't even know. I think he was down, like, $700, something like that. I was like, come on. Let's just go. It's not a big deal. I was still playing. I was like, I'm just going to finish playing first.
Damn, you're mad selfish. You're like, let me have my fun.
No, but I was like, or, I was like, play. He was like playing big hands. Like, you don't have to put $100 on a number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be a little bit more, I don't know, put a $5 chip. Like, you're down so much money already. So I had lost like a lot of like my money too that I was gambling with. But again, like I had my budget. I had a $25 chip left. All the money I was gambling with the night I had lost. So I was like, you know what? It's $25. Like, fuck it. I put it on 13 because that's my number. And my ex puts 100 on 13 and I take it off because I'm like, no. And it fucking hits. And I'm screaming because I'm like, oh my God, I just won. It was like, what, $875, something like that? Or $925. I don't remember. But I'm jumping up and screaming. He's looking at me like he wants to strangle me because he would have won like $3,000.
Yeah, it's 36-1 payouts.
The dealer, or I guess she's called
the
dealer.
Yeah, the dealer, yeah.
Is looking at me because she's pissed at me. Everyone is just like, I'm the only one celebrating. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I feel really terrible now. But like I was coming from a good place, but like he was so mad. And then I was like, okay, I'm cashing out. I'm going upstairs. Like, have fun the rest of the night. I'm not going to. I'm not even going to talk to you. He ended up like losing all his money. I felt really terrible. But now it's a funny joke now. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, it definitely wasn't funny.
No, he like didn't speak to me for like a week. He was pissed.
Oh, yeah. I probably would have been
he was
like,
so mad.
You know what? You got to worry about dinner on your own there.
But lesson learned. I will never, ever, ever tell someone like how much they can gamble, what they're going to gamble, nothing.